Apparently, this guy is legit. I don't know who this guy is. I have no idea who this dude is, but apparently he's legit. A lot of people are like, yeah, this guy knows what he's talking about. Does a podcast or something. Okay. I heard some Blade news I trust. File under rumor for now. If you want, /take it with a grain of salt, I'm okay with that. I'm told the rumors that John Wick filmmaker Chad Stahelski could take over the franchise are incorrect. Womp womp. In fact, the creative direction of Blade has totally shifted. While Mahershala Ali is still attached, and all these years later, despite some of the talk that he was going to be difficult about approving scripts, from what I'm hearing, the Blade movie is essentially nixed for now. Now, that doesn't mean we won't get a Blade movie someday. Take Nova, for example. That series got scrapped for now, and in other words, pencils have been put down, and the active development on it is shuttered for the moment. But who knows? We could still get it down the line. The same has essentially happened to the Blade movie. So what does that mean for Ali and the character? Well, they'll still use him and introduce him in another way. Blade will likely be introduced formally in either the still developing Midnight Suns movie or Avengers Secret Wars, or possibly as a supporting character in another movie, like the way Namor was first introduced in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Now, if I were a betting man, I would say it's likely not Secret Wars, as Marvel tends to not randomly add new characters into big ensemble casts like that, because Blade would totally be lost in the shuffle and he would not get a proper introduction. It'll be either Midnight Suns. If they can't crack that story, they will likely find a way to introduce him in someone else's story, perhaps paving the way for a solo film down the road. Things shift, things change. That is what I've heard in the most recent moment. Frankly, this makes more sense to me right now, especially with the Namor Wakanda Forever route. File under rumor if you want. I'm all good with it. Okay. So, this happened, and cue the entire internet saying there's only going to be one Blade, and using that meme from Deadpool and Wolverine over and over again. Blade, it's canceled again. We're never going to get it. What the hell? All that kind of stuff. Okay. So what's going on, man? Well, Alex Perez came forward after this to suggest that this is similar to the Nova situation. And even this guy kind of makes that point too, right? And about a year ago, Brad Winderbaum was out doing press. This might have been for Echo or one of the other shows. And Brad made this statement, which I thought was really important for Marvel fans to pay attention to, and none of them did. And what he said was, we're going to start acting more like a normal Hollywood studio. We will develop a lot more than we produce. So one of the problems with Phase 4 and 5 was that they were just develop, and producing everything they developed. They were like, yes, that'll work. Slap a Marvel Studios logo on it. They'll love She-Hulk. They'll fucking love being made fun of and called themselves. Oh, anyway, point is, they developed a lot. They developed too much. They produced too much. Now, what they're doing is they're producing stuff, taking things through pre-production, getting them ready, basically almost like a really advanced internal pitch document or something to that degree. And they're going to just produce way fewer of those things than they were in the past. So what that means is Midnight Suns, Nova, Blade, these are projects that have been in development for a long time. Blade in particular has been in development forever, right? And we've heard all sorts of things. They've tried a lot of different things. Bo DeMayo took a crack at a script apparently at one point. So they can't crack the code on Blade. It just means they're not going to put it into production anytime soon. And I would expect this probably mostly has to do with Secret Wars. So that's kind of what Alex said. So Alex came forward and said, just like Nova and some of these other projects, it's not that they're not going to happen. They're not delayed indefinitely. They're delayed until after Secret Wars, because Marvel has a lot to juggle between the 2 Avengers movies, the possible Battleworld movies, maybe other Disney Plus stuff as well, and getting X-Men ready. So Marvel's juggling a lot. Blade just simply would not fit right now. And, maybe he'd get lost in the shuffle in the movie. But frankly, his movie might get lost in the shuffle of Battleworld if they had it moving at any point soon. So, despite everybody saying this is the end for Blade, etc., don't believe that at all. I think Mahershala Ali is absolutely going to be Blade. And I think that they will maybe take a look at the Midnight Sun thing. Maybe this guy's correct here. But I wouldn't be surprised if he popped up in some other stuff. For me, I think there is a way to use Blade in the Battleworld saga, potentially in Doomsday as well. But he would be relegated to something pretty sparse, right? If we get out of the Secret Wars thing, there's potential to build into some like Eternals type stuff or some supernatural type stuff with Blade. There's always an angle you can take there, and it would make more sense outside of the Secret Wars thing. You could also just do multiple Blades and have Mahershala hanging out with Wesley Snipes. I think that would be fire on Battleworld, right? A bunch of Blades on one part of Battleworld. So I could see it going that way. I could see him popping up in Spider-Man 4 or something. I think you're getting more Blade, but I think the truth is this idea of the solo Blade movie, yeah, that's delayed for a while, and it might not actually materialize. Blade himself is still going to be a thing, and I think they're super committed to that. And I think Mahershala at this point really needs it. I think Marvel needs it too. But it's not like you're going to be seeing Blade in 2027, is basically what this report here means. So I wonder what you guys think of this. I mean, would we accept Mahershala Ali Blade without a solo movie? That's a big question. I'm sure that's something Marvel's thinking about too. I absolutely believe we would. I think there's a history of that. And I think, dude, you should just be doing Blade. Like, honestly, Blade should have been, like, Mahershala Ali Blade should have been introduced already at this point. Like, he should have been in something else besides that post-credit scene where you don't even see him in the Eternals. So that's the news with Blade, man. And I don't think it's like all that big of a deal, to be honest with you. But everybody, anytime at this point, Blade, I mean, God, man, 2019, he comes out with the hat on and introduces Mahershala. It's 6 years, man. It's going to be 7, 8. It might be a goddamn decade. It might be a goddamn decade by the time we get to a Blade movie or Blade in the MCU. So, of course, this is a huge sort of dramatic situation with Marvel, and they're not going to live it down until they figure this out. So let's hope that they figure it out. One last thing on this, too. It's a shame that the Chad Stahelski piece of this doesn't seem to be true. I think that dude's very talented, and I would have loved for Blade to go in that direction. Fascinating that he's like, no, it's going in a different direction. What is it going, more fantasy or something? Less grounded, shooty, slice and dice kind of thing? We'll see. But yeah, that's the updates with Blade, man. That is the updates with Blade. Thanks for watching, and if you like this clip, smash a like on the actual video and subscribe to this channel. That way more of these clips get into your feed. I've also linked the full episode below if you want to check out the entire thing, including the Q&A we do with fans. You can also watch this show live. We do it live Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. And you can also find all of my content, including the videos I put on my main YouTube channel, on the podcast feed.